Greetings! I'm glad you're here. You've come here to figure out how to add the kitchen design to your final plan, and we've gone through a few iterations. You've just seen on the last two assignments. In this module, we have taken the bubble diagram that we have, and we've turned it into a block diagram, which I have here. Block diagrams on grid paper. And now we're going to move forward to create an installation drawing that will represent our kind of very close to our final capture of what the floor plan looks like. So let's look through the directions on 7.3. We're working with our base model of the second floor. We're filling out the different areas of the spaces. I've started with the bubble diagram that I chose to be my official go-to from the three that you made, my bubble diagram that I'm going to work with. I'm going to take all those spaces, and you can do this. You can just isolate the kitchen for this assignment, but in the last assignment you're asked to do all of those to make square feet, and that assignment is explained. And today we're going to turn in at least one part, the kitchen. We're going to try and get this rough scale kitchen up and running that we can draw, or at least on trace paper or vellum. You have to turn in a vellum, that we can start collecting these rooms, because we have a lot of areas to cover to fill out our space. Okay, so let's see what that looks like on the ground. Pencils on the ground, so let's go take a look. Well, it looks like I have a lot of space to fill on this empty floor plan that is your project for the semester. All nice and blank, but I do have the helpful bubble diagram that we have taken the time to fill out, which is going to be my pattern template. And I can kind of look and zone in on the kitchen today. We'll take that kitchen area. We made a block diagram of it, and we can check and see if it fits. Here is one of the completed ones, and I'm just using it for a demonstration, but I can kind of see that that kitchen block diagram works. And now I can start drawing this in. And how this is working is we're taking those block diagrams, we've arranged them in the order that we like for our linear floor plan, and now the next step is a sketch plan traced over the block diagram. We're going to make a sketch plan now and start filling out and indicating more officially where things are. And it'll also, by having the schematic plan, we're kind of getting ready to set up to start drafting the hard line actual finished project of the site plan. So, I'm sorry, sketch plan. So the sketch plan is going to help us. So let's create that. And this is where the book and all the resources I have at my disposal comes in handy. Because I can come over to check out on page 107. It has different layouts. Let me get a pointing device, please. Where's my pencil? I'm lost without that pencil, but we'll use this one. Okay, so on page 107, you see the layouts that are offered for different kinds of kitchens and their layouts. This chapter, Fixtures and Appliances, is really great. I shared it with you during our live session, and now I'll replay this quickly on this little video on how this works. There is a program questionnaire. You have your client, so you're going to match what your client needs for a kitchen, and we look at some examples, and taking those needs and turning them into our block diagram. Now we're getting ready to choose the type of kitchen that's available both here online and also in this module. We'll take one of these, and if we can get a quarter scale and just sketch onto it to transfer, that would be great, but not too bad. We can easily take something like this and transfer it. This triangle is making mention of the utilitarian space where you want to try and minimize this triangle. So when you're walking to your stove, to your kitchen, to your sink, this constitutes an area of work, and how many times you have to walk back and forth to get things. So there are ideal ways of laying out kitchens, and you can study up on the reading on that. These shaded areas are food prep areas. There's nothing worse than having, say, a refrigerator or something bump up right next to a stove or a kitchen, because then you don't have a space to work. And so you only have to experience that once to know how difficult that is. So you choose your layout, copy it, and in between doing all that, you'll be reading up on different kinds of cabinets and their uses on this chapter. But let's get back to the assignment. Okay, so I had my block diagram, and I've chosen my kitchen type, and now I just start drawing. I don't have to worry too much about the entire fixtures, but this is where your templates will make fast work of some of this work, and you really just want to rough out all the little areas so that for this module, we want to get our kitchen done, and we want to get the laundry room, here's washer and dryer. Okay, so it is half as big as the kitchen, right? It's pretty big there. So this is the kind of drawing we want to make, not to a super detail yet, but at least block out where it's going to go if you're going to have an island or if you're choosing one of the other types. You don't really include the dining room, but having them together magnifies the space, as you'll find many other rooms do that as well. So that's the overall mission that you have, and we're taking a look at some of the helpful hints that go on with this. Start with a schematic, and what we're really trying to do is jump directly to our floor plan. We only have a certain amount of weeks left, and we better get started on it. So in this session, for this module, we're doing the kitchen, and we're also going to do the laundry room. Tips for success includes make sure you check out your kitchen guidelines and clearances, the worksheet in the textbook, the different kind of layouts that are in the modules. Be sure to use dashed lines and hidden lines where appropriate for the dishwasher, upper cabinets, and this comes in closer towards the finish, so I'm asking you to rough out. Keep in mind the cabinets as you start to indicate this. To complete this assignment, you will need to have the kitchen in place, and it'll be drawn on vellum, the complete drawing on vellum, and turn it in here in this module for the points. Thank you.